who and who we allow in our corner. Which brings me back to how can we gain confidence to be yourself? I stated out some pointers, and I would like to start with the first one, which says recognize what you are good at. We're all good at something, whether it's cooking, singing, doing puzzles, or being a friend. Just recognize what you're good at. What are you good at? That's the first thing you need to ask yourself. I am I'm good at traveling. I love to travel. I'm good at talking to people. I'm a good listener. I listen more, I talk less. I'm good at trying to solve certain problems as much as they come to me. I am a hype woman, so I don't do it for a living, but I do that like normally. So look at the things that you're good at. I love cooking. Look at the things that you're good at. If you perfect the things you're good at, you're able to enjoy doing them over time. You just enjoy doing them. You just love doing them. I need to boost your confidence because you already know that you love this and it boosts your confidence. Number 2, build positive relationship. I said it earlier. Adele said it earlier. Build positive relationships. Make sure you surround yourself with people who are positive thinkers. Surround yourself with people who are nice. Surround yourself with people who share the same knowledge with you. Be kind to yourself. That statement is the hardest thing you can ever do. That's my point 3. Be kind to yourself. You gotta be kind to yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. No matter whatever situation is, you have to be kind to yourself. You can't be so hard on yourself. You want to go to the gym, you're putting in the work. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Learn to be assertive. Be assertive about certain things that you reason about. Be assertive to yourself. Learn to always put words of affirmation to yourself. It's very, very good. Number 5, start saying no. When this statement is a very strong statement, which means, saying no is not about, somebody offers you ice cream and you love to take ice cream and you're like, okay, I'll take ice cream, but I'll take a bit and, because I'm trying to cut down or whatever. That's not the no I'm talking about. Start saying no to whatever negative thoughts that comes to your mind about yourself. Start saying no to whatever anybody tells you about yourself that is extremely negative. Start saying no to clothes that you know is not going to fit you. Wear clothes that fit you, that makes you look radiant. Start saying no to people that tear you down mentally, people that make you look so stupid. Start saying no to them. Remember earlier I said, surround yourself with positive people. So start saying no to negative people. Last but not the least, give yourself a challenge. Challenge yourself to become better. I have challenged myself to do a podcast, and I'm still going back to do my podcast. I left it for a while, but I'm going back to do my podcast soon. Very soon, I'm going to be starting my lifestyle blog. I'm going to start dressing up. So I'm challenging myself, because every day it's a new day to always start something fresh, good, and interesting for yourself. So challenge yourself to be somebody. Challenge yourself to do something new, And which brings me to my next point. I'm going to read another point from Lizzo. Lizzo is like my best go-to person because, like I said earlier, Lizzo has been one of the people who had pioneered plus-size modeling in another level. She has pioneered body positivity in another level. And she says this. But I want you guys to repeat after me if you guys can unmute yourself so I know you guys are following me. Fat does not equal to ugly.
Fat does not equal to ugly. That's it.
Fat does not equal to ugly.
Love yourself. Eat like you.
Love yourself. Eat like you.
Love yourself. Drink water.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Like yourself. Like Like you love yourself, dance.
Like you love yourself.
Move your body like you love yourself.
Move your body like you love yourself.
Next time anyone calls you fat, remember that you've got fat in your body just like them.
Next one, anytime somebody call you fat, remember that you got fat in your body just like them.
And having fat is beautiful.
And having fat is beautiful.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I needed you guys to read it out to yourself because words of affirmation is very important. It's very important. I tell you, words of affirmation is very important. There's one of the next topic I was told to discuss about is ways at which you can reach your full potential. I think this is very deep because it's a personal development kind of, and I need you guys to reason with me. If there's nothing you're going to take home today, I need you guys to take this home with you and reason about it, sleep on it, think about it, reiterate about it. If there's any other word I can use, listen and understand it. Number one is develop a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I mentioned this earlier about growing and challenging yourself as an individual. You need to always grow your mindset. Where you are right now is not where you're going to be in the next 10 years. I never know. It might be any one of you in this Zoom that might be the ones to be the next First Lady of Nigeria. Anyone on this Zoom might be the next chair lady of a big industry. And I might be walking into your office trying to get a contract from you. I never know. It's all about your mindset. It's all about where you want to be. I remember when there's an actress, a popular actress, I can see her face. The lady that acted the queen in Viola Davis, yes. Viola Davis, yes. She gave a speech, and I can't remember which of the awards she gave a speech on. It was like that always visioned herself to win an Oscar someday, and she was in her 50s. She'd been acting for like almost 30 years, and a big break happened. She had always visioned herself of winning an Oscars, and right now she doesn't even know what she's going to say. And that is foresight. It's foresight and vision. Sometimes even life will weigh you down, but you need to have a growth of mindset. You need to keep walking in little steps that will take you to where you want to be in future. Where you're going to be right now is not the final stage of your life. It's not your final stage of your life. You're just passing through. Your friends right now are not going to be your next friends in the next 10, 15 years. So they're just they're there in your life for a certain period, for a certain reason, and then you have to actually maximize that potential. Point 2, combine reflection and action. Action and reflection combine, build momentum. Combine reflection and action. Now, this is kind of like a self-evaluation kind of thing. You need to reflect on the things that you've done. You need to reflect on the things that have happened in the past. You need to reflect on any events that happened so that you can be a better person. I'm not trying to say that you should reflect on traumatic experiences that happened in your childhood, but you need to reflect on these things once in a while to enable you focus on where you need to be in the future. You need to reflect, and in reflection, you will now act on being a positive person. I can hear some noise at the background, so say please, if you're the one, can you please mute your, thank you. You need to reflect on where you want to be in future. Like you need to reflect on the previous events so that you can be a better person. So action, the word action means you are actually taking a step to becoming a better person. My point 3 is focus on the big picture. See, I can never, ever, ever stop emphasizing on focusing on the future. You need to focus on the big picture. Where do you want to be in the next 10, 15 years? What is your goal? What is your full potential that God has given to you? You need to focus on that. Time management is key. What are you doing with your time? Are you sleeping from now to tomorrow? Are you fucking from now to tomorrow? What are you doing with your time? How are you managing your time? If you set like goals for yourself in a year, try to achieve at least 80%. If you're not achieving up to 60, then you need to push yourself to achieve to 80, because trust me, you can never go back to 2022, but what you do with 2023 matters. Develop goals. You need to develop goals. You need to make sure that you are able to say that these are the things I want to achieve. I need to achieve these things, and I'll achieve these things in a certain time and period. Focus on those goals and try to achieve them. If you can't achieve them and you need help to achieve them, reach out to people that can help you. Your younger sister used to say something: a closed mouth is a closed destiny. You cannot keep quiet when you know you need to achieve certain goals. Another point is big dreams and take small steps to fulfill your potential. I remember saying this earlier. Where I am today didn't just happen. It didn't happen. I remember when I was like 18, I started writing for a magazine, a campus magazine. It was called Campus Menu. They are literally situated in the east side, and I was in Lagos at the time. I literally just came out of secondary school at 16, and you know how you just wait at home for like 2 years and try to like get into school and stuff like that. I was home, and my cousin was like, "Oh, would you like to write for this magazine? I've seen them write blah 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 and everything." I was like, "Yeah, take it up." And I remember the owner of the magazine reached out to me when I sent an email. He reached out to me and said, I love what you wrote in the via email. I think you can do like certain interviews for us, and then let's see how that goes." And trust me, my first major interview was with Azizat, the winner of the box office, Amsterdam Malta box office. That was my first interview. My first ever official interview was for the magazine, and it was with Azizat, who was the box office winner at that time. I started taking small steps. And from there, I started working with Tell Magazine that discovered me. And from Tell Magazine, I moved on into AIT. I became a TV presenter for 2-3 years before I became a producer. I started doing stuff with Ebony Live TV. I worked with Ebony Live TV, and then I started moving until I moved to Nigeria. And even up until I had my own production outfit, I took baby steps to fulfill what I wanted to become. I always took that step. It might take long, but trust me, those baby steps prepare you for what is bigger in future. Don't reinvent the wheel. I mean, the wheel means the circle of life. There's nothing you can do about that. Every step in life is a process. You have to follow the process. You cannot jump the process. It's just like now you jump from being a child to an adult. That's not easy. You need to go from being a child to a teenager to a preteen, then from preteen to youth to adult. That's how you jump. So you cannot reinvent the wheel. Last but not the least, practice. Sorry, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I had an incoming call. Practice what you preach, basically. Practice discipline, which is the most important. You need to practice discipline. See, in as much as you have all the talent, in as much as you're building your confidence, you need to practice discipline. You need to check your health. Make sure you're healthy. Make sure you eat well. Make sure you exercise if you want to. You need to actually practice discipline. And last but not the least, I'm going to close my discussion so I can give you guys time to ask the questions. And I'm going to say this quote. I love saying quotes because quotes actually is a reflection of who these people are. And these are people that everybody knows already how their lifestyle is. And the quote means, and we're going to read the quote, embrace, love your body is the most you will ever own. And it's the most amazing thing you can ever have. Your body can stand almost anything. It's your mind that you have to convince. So once you're able to convince your mind, it will help you boost your confidence. Once you're able to convince yourself that this is who I am, I'm a queen, I'm a princess, I rule the world, I'm beautiful and wonderfully made, you would have your mind placed in the right way. Thank you guys for listening to my talk. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I'm open to answer questions as we speak.
Thank you so much. And there could be lesson reactions. You can unmute. Appreciate our
Thank you.
How do you feel? Thank you so much, Adekunbi, for such a wonderful presentation. And
that was awesome.
Talking about your journey.
Oh, thank you so much.
In the causes of fear, and where it all starts, or insecurity starts from most of us, is childhood. When we feel we are not usual, like the other people, or what the society has jumped into her mind as the ideal. So thank you so much for sharing your story. So it's time for question and answer. If you have any question, please send into the chat room or raise your hand so we can call you. Jennifer, you want to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead. And we don't mind seeing your beautiful face.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi.
Thank you for the presentation, Ma. But my question is coming from the place of family. So if it's a child, we understand that there are times in kids, like when kids are growing up, you find out that some kids are really smart in school, like they do very well, and their parents really love them. And there are some kids that are so slow to learning. So in the process, that child is used to always receiving negative words from their parents, like you're a dummy, good for nothing, you don't know anything. And over the years, it has actually sunk into them. And then they just believe that they can really not do anything. They just accept all the things that their parents have said. And right now, they are now youths. So they find out that they cannot just amount to anything because they believe that that's who they are. So how can one actually get to, because now all those words has bring about low self-esteem for that particular person. And it can either be either of the gender, maybe male or female. Now, how can you talk out such a person out of that experience that they've actually lived with all their life?
Wow, that's a situation that I've encountered with 2 to 3 different people in the past. And I'm gonna tell you what I simply tell them, that they should know. Like I said, words of affirmation is very, very key. Remember, I gave you all an exercise. I said, this is what I do every morning when I look at myself and say, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderfully made. And the moment you keep telling yourself that every day, your mind begins to change. It's unfortunate, I'm so sorry, it's so unfortunate that the immediate family, we're supposed to be the ones that are guiding us through in life. Those are our first set of people that we know that this is who society should be, are the ones that are misleading us. So for people like that, she's already traumatized by accepting what her parents are going to accept. I mean, what her parents have been told, what her parents or his parents have been telling them for years. So for someone like that, first of all, words of affirmation is key. You need to see yourself as you're beautiful and wonderfully made. Number 2, you need to shut down those negative thoughts. It's going to be hard. Shut down. The moment you're able to shut down, it will help you. So if your mom comes up to tell you and say, you're so dumb, I am not dumb. I am beautiful. I am one of the smartest kids in the world. God has said I'm smart, and I am smart. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You need to always have positive thinkings for yourself. There's no how. We're not going to avoid these parents. If they're alive, you cannot avoid them. So you need to always say positive things to yourself. And that's the only way you can shut them down. And number 3, you need to surround yourself with people who are positive minded. I've said that earlier in our discussion. You need to surround yourself with people who are positive minded, because they're going to help you. If your immediate family is not going to help you, you have to find your own people that are going to help you. They're going to help you. It could be some celebrities that you watch constantly. You see on your timeline, your Facebook, people you follow. Make sure you follow people who have like minds, who are positive thinkers like you. Whatever they say, whatever they put out there, they're going to help you. If you have friends who are positive minded, like hype people, I mentioned hype friends. Everybody has to have one hype friend in their circle that would help you. That would help you build your confidence. So those are the 3 things you need. You need to shut down the negative thoughts, or whatever they say, words of affirmation, and make sure you surround yourself with people who are positive thinkers. Thank you. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask another one?
Okay, please go ahead. If you have any question, please drop it in the chat room so we can take your question.
Now, the second one is in the place of marriage. There's something that happened recently for somebody that I really know. So the husband is a first class graduate, and then the wife is a third class. And every time the husband puts it to the wife, you're third class, so you really cannot do anything. And this woman has all over the time accepted the fact that because she's third class, she really cannot do anything. Even in church activities, you find out that she's really sound, but she obviously cannot do anything because her husband keeps reminding her that she's third class, and she's not working because he said that third class people are not accepted in the career world. And he has also told her that no matter the skill you take, you are not going to be accepted because of your results. Now, I don't know how, because it has actually made her, she don't have friends, because she feels so less of herself. She can obviously not do anything. So if they are meant to ask questions, she will just say, my husband will answer. Even when she knows the answer, she cannot say it because of this third class thing that has been in her. So in this case, we're talking about people who are couples. How do you tend to help somebody that has been like this with her partner for like 8 years that they've been married?
Wow, this is sad. It's really sad. And for her partner, that's what they call mental shutdown. That's a mental shutdown. It's just being with someone who does not appreciate you, who doesn't value your opinion. I'm not gonna say she should divorce her husband, because she needs to, like I said, you need to discover what you're good at. I tell you, certificate is just a paper. It does not define who you are. Remember when I talked about gaining and the pointers of gaining the confidence to be yourself? You need to share with her this template. You need to share with her this video so she kind of like understands what I'm about to say. She herself needs to identify with something she's good at. Being a third class person is not the definition of yourself. Going to school is not your personal definition. There's a lot of people that have been to school, they've never had good grades in their entire life, but guess what? They're the ones that have become billionaires. They've become millionaires just because they have a simple behavior of identifying what they're good at. Now, it's so wrong for the husband to shut her down. The moment she identifies that what the husband is doing is shutting her down, is bringing her negative thoughts, she's able to shut it down in the best way that she can. Remember, I earlier said that you need to shut down some persons, some people who speak negatively about you to yourself. So the moment she's able to shut those negative thoughts down, she's able to move ahead with her life. And that is how you recognize some good things that you know you're good at. If whatever she's good at, she needs to focus on doing those things. Those are the things that would boost her confidence. Those are the things that will boost her in and be like, okay, my God, I need to say this. Those are the things that will boost her confidence. So yeah, it's exactly what I mean. That's the only way. That's what I think, and I think that's the only way. Basically.
Thank you, Ma.
All right.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Thank you. Do you have is there any other person with any question, please? Okay, Kubi. There's a question here which we mentioned earlier, so I would like us to really talk about it so we may have other people that can benefit from it. How were you able to handle rejection in relationships? What were the steps?
Oh, wow. So, like I said earlier, before the session started, I said that 80% of the people I've ever dated had loved me for who I am and how I look and, how I presented myself over time. I've only gone out on 2 dates, and those guys were the most annoying and the most irritating people I've ever met, because they were trying to form me to something that I wasn't. I love to eat good food. I love to go to bougie restaurants and eat good food. That's me. And they didn't like the fact that I ate good food. They didn't like the fact that I love to eat good food. I like to try new things. They wanted to confine me to what I wasn't initially, which is, to me, that's a bad thing. So at first, you need to ensure that you go out with people who love you, who love who you are. You need to go out with people who admire you, would see your personality and want to be like you. They love just everything about you. There are men out there who love plus size women, trust me. If they are not round enough, they're not going to go out with you. They're not even going to kiss you. They're not even attracted to you. So in terms of dating, you need to tender to people who like you. My mom used to tell me, better make sure that the man, whoever you're like dating or lambering or whatever, make sure that person loves you more than you love that person. And to be honest, I have been lucky. I've been meeting men that love me more than I even love them. So it comes out naturally. When they love you, there's no how you're not going to love them back, because they're doing everything to actually love you. They're doing everything to actually be like, you know what, I just want to be around this girl. Do you get what I mean? So you need to, I think for women, we need to handpick the kind of men that we want to go out with. Men that actually like us, that actually like us. I want to go out with a man that would just talk to me, down on me. You can even tell by the time he's picking up his phone to talk to you. You can tell. Like if you're saying, oh, I would like to go to what's the most famous restaurant in Nigeria? Okay, let's say Lagos now. You want to go to like a Father Boy. And you're like, oh, he's asking, oh, where would you want us to meet? I said, oh, I'd like to meet at the Father Boy, the restaurant and he's telling you, why do you want to go to a Father Boy? Like, why do you want to go eat a Father Rice? You need to slim down. You can tell by that kind of reaction that this guy does not like your body figure. He doesn't like who you are and who you're representing and who you actually look like. So we see, women are blessed with seeing the signs and acknowledging that these signs exist. So when you have men like that who are literally like turning you down in every slightest mood, just know to yourself that you cannot date this kind of person. I've dated a man that both of us have been together for the longest. He's also plus size too as well. He didn't see any problem with my weight. He didn't see any problem with how I looked. As long as it's not affecting my health, he had no problem with it. And he adored every bit of me. And that's how it should be. If you meet a guy for the first time, and for the first time or second time, and he doesn't show those traits, and he's slightly keeping some I think we use the word petty now. Some petty statements. Let him go. Like, let him go. He's gotta go, because if there's a man out there that's gonna love you, there's a man out there that's gonna look out to you and say, you know what, this is my queen. I love her. The way she looks, I love her rolls, I love her curves, I love her jigglies. I'm okay with how she looks. So, I mean, that's how I put my own dating life. Like, I date people that love me more. I date people, I evaluate them before I even go out on a date with them. I have discussions with them on the phone to kind of like understand where they're coming from or how I look, you know, how they see me and how they perceive me. And if they perceive me in a certain way and it's not just working, then I just let them go. My self-esteem is this high for another guy to drag me down. So, and if someone shows you love, I show them love times 100, because they're already showing me a love of 50, I give them my 100. Because why? They're giving you something to work with. They're giving you something to even make an effort with. So, yeah, you know, I think that answers your question, does it? I hope it does answer your question.
Yes, very well. Thank you, Adekubi. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that has contributed. I guess we don't have any question anymore. It's been such a wonderful time learning how to build confidence, how to accept yourself, how to accept all your childhood trauma or even adulthood trauma or anything that's hindered or that has built in you negative mindset of yourself. So the first and the most important is that you let them go, let them go, let them go, and start the new you. Okay? And we are going to be having a 10 days confidence challenge from tomorrow. So just follow us on the social media platform so you can see the steps, practical steps you need to take for the next 10 days to build this confidence that you have lost somewhere along the line. You know, I know some of us would have experienced it, that we shared our ideas with somebody. We thought we were not good enough to share it in the public. And then the person goes to share it, the idea wins, and then they don't recognize us. How painful can that be? At least that has happened to me a number of times. And I learned my lesson. Girl, you are good enough. Whatever the idea is, go and share it. Let them talk you down. Let them say it's a no, but go and make that step. And just share it. Whatever it is you want to do, just do it. You learn in failure. Even if you fail, you learn. This community, how we started and how we've been doing, we have done trial and error over time. There was no assurance of anything. But if you don't start, you are never going to build confidence to do great things. Okay? And we've also mentioned that you need to accept yourself. Accept your body first. Yes, your shape cannot be like every other person. Yours might not be figure 8, and yours might be figure 9, figure anything. Accept yourself, accept who God has created you to be, and let people know that the value you give is not exactly about your body. It's a body frame. Nobody really has control over it. We know you can exercise, you can diet, you can keep fit, but really, at some point, you realize that you can only do your best in dieting. For some people, it remains like that. Like someone will say, it's when I'm taking Gary that I even grow fatter. So why don't you just enjoy your life in peace and surround yourself with people that accept the goodness in you? All right. So in the chat room, we have shared some links to help you follow us. Firstly, to give us feedback. We like to get feedback. We like to hear topics you want us to treat. Okay, and also, if you want to know more about us, we have a link tree where you have a drop down of the blog sites of the social media platforms and how to join the community if you desire to. I've spoken about the 10 days confidence challenge. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to know what next will be